Welcome back. It's me, Austin Miller, the gentleman caller, and you caught me peeling carrots. But you caught me peeling carrots because, do you know what giardiniera is? It's this Italian thing. I never knew what it was until very recently. I was like, what's all that cauliflower and carrots and stuff? Anyway, and I'd never tried it until recently, but I like it because it's basically like a jar of pickles. It's just cauliflower and stuff like that. So, the other day I was down here, I'm in Texas right now. The other day I was down here and I was walking through Froberg's, the produce place, and I was kind of overwhelmed by what they had that I don't usually cook with when I'm in New York City, like okra. I mean, you can find okra in New York City, but not as readily as you can find it here. And I was like, you should make some giardiniera, but make it Texas style. By Texas style, I mean we're going to put some jalapenos in there, we're going to put some okra in there, and then we're going to stick with a few classic ingredients, of course, like the carrots. So, go wash your hands, clean up your surfaces, and get ready for the Gentleman Caller's Texas style giardiniera. First thing we're going to do is prepare all these vegetables, and it's easy stuff. First you're going to peel the carrots, of course, perfectly logical. Then with your green beans, you want them, you see this pretty little tip? You want to keep that, if at all possible. So I'm just going to take my kitchen shears, and I'm just going to lob off the stuff I don't like. And you'll see in a minute when we pack them, we might end up cutting some of them down a little bit, which is no big deal. To the okra, we're just going to lob this little piece off the top, and that's the only thing we're doing. So it'll look like this. The peppers are a tricky thing. If you don't want seeds, then you're going to have to cut your pepper differently than I am now. I personally like the seeds, that's what makes them hot. So, to the pepper, you're just going to take that top off. And while we're here, let's go ahead and chop that sucker up. I'm using a serrated knife. Oh, peppers. I'm doing this without gloves. Warning. Don't touch your nose, don't touch your eyes, don't scratch your South Pole, North Pole, or anybody else's South Pole, North Pole, any places like that. You can wear gloves. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm a renegade. No protection. Ah! Oh, I love saying inappropriate stuff on this show. So I'm just slicing my peppers up, you know, pretty evenly. We're talking about less than a quarter of an inch. We'll call it an eighth. We'll call it an eighth of an inch. Yeah. The carrots, we're going to get a little fancy with them because I want there to be a ridge. And so what I'm going to do is take my handy mandolin here, and I'm just going to run these suckers through the mandolin. Now, again, I'm being renegade here. I'm not using the safety thing. There's this safety thing that pushes it through, but I don't care. People are always like, you're going to cut your fingers, you're going to cut your fingers. I have never cut my finger on a mandolin. I've cut my finger innumerable other ways, as well as burned myself almost weekly, but I have never cut my finger on a mandolin. So, there's my life story, right? So just run your carrot through, and I'm using the side that's like, it's not scalloped. You know what I mean. It's the textury side. If you don't want to go through this step, watch, I'm going to cut my finger now that I've had that whole bullshit bonanza. Oh, that would be funny. It wouldn't be funny. Prepare your jars. Fill a large pot with water. Bring the water to a boil. Immerse your jars very carefully into the boiling water, along with the rings and lids you intend to use. Let them boil for at least 10 minutes to achieve full sterilization. Okay, so heads up. These jars just came out of really hot boiling water, so they're going to be hot. Unless you let them cool down for a while or whatever. What's the fun in that? You gotta burn yourself in things. Why do I keep talking about that? Oh, I forgot to tell you a second ago too. You're gonna want to peel some garlic cloves. You're gonna need, for a pint size, you're gonna want 2. For a baby one, you're just gonna want 1. Unless you really like garlic, and then you can put in like 5, I don't care. So, we just start loading these in carefully. If you turn the jar on its side, like this, it makes shoving a little bit easier. And here's something you're going to want to do. It's going to start getting tight as you put things in there, but just keep going. You're going to feel like you're putting too many things in there. Just keep shoving vegetables in until it's as compact as it can possibly be. Now you know I'm going to put a piece of lemon peel in this thing because, well, I put lemon in everything, right? So you can choose, if you're not as big a lemon lover as I am, you can leave the lemon out. It's not that big a deal. So you can see that the jars are full and they look really, really lovely. Really, really lovely, if I do say so myself. So now we're going to assemble the brine. The brine is the liquid that's going to go in. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that. I'm sure you know it. I have a 1/4 cup of brown sugar in my little glass Pyrex here, and to that I'm going to add 1 cup of cider vinegar. I didn't want this giant jug in my shot, but what are you going to do? You add another cup of white distilled vinegar. After we've added your salt, I'm just going to throw this in the microwave a couple of minutes. You can do it in a saucepan on the stove if you want to. We just need to dissolve the brown sugar and the salt. So I'm going to throw this in the microwave. Take your tablespoon measurer, and we're going to go with a tablespoon of peppercorn in the big jars. Once your peppercorns are in, I'm going to add some celery seed. Celery seed is one of those underutilized things in my opinion. They have such a kind of robust, it's not robust, they have a sneaky flavor. It's sneaky. That's what I would call it. I'm going to go with a teaspoon of celery seed in the big boys. So it's time for rings and lids. These should have been in your boiling pot of water from earlier, because this little rubber seal needs to be hot so it can stick to the jar. So working as quickly as you can and without touching the internal pieces, you don't want to, which I just did of course, just get it on there and screw the lids on really tightly. And as soon as we finish this step, it's going to be time to process. So bring your pot of water up to a boil again, because these bad boys are going back in the hot water bag. So there you have it, friends. Just as easy as that. I would pick one up and show it to you, but they are boiling hot. Now you want to let these sit for about 2 weeks at least. 3's longer, 4's even better. And write in the comments, tell me how much you like it. It's going to be spicy and hot and delicious. Thanks for watching. Keep coming back. This is the Gentleman Caller, signing off.